Okay, Rick, you about ready?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. That's we do what we do. It's about that time. The legend of Rick continues.
Like us on Facebook.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Rick, 10 years, my friend. 10 years. We've been in 10 years. When we gonna stop? I don't know when. Rick Brown, the legendary reporter from the Lakeland Ledger. Now, the better half of Mick and Rick.
Ah,
Welcome, Rick.
oh my goodness. Oh my good. Hey, where do I send the check?
Yes. Hurry up and send it now. We want to make sure I can cash it.
Hold up. Wait. Hey, what's up, Coach? What's going on, bro?
Oh man, this is the new year, new gear. Hey, I'm not gonna shed a tear.
All right.
That's what we're gonna do, Rick.
Oh my goodness, you are rolling. Yes, I love it. I love it. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. 10 years, folks. 10 years. Ain't no stopping us now.
Just tell them, Rick.
We're
We
on the
never
move.
get there.
Oh,
Man, we on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, LinkedIn, Insights, part of Roku with the Insights Broadcast Network. Go to your Roku channel, put Insights in, INSiiGHTS, 2 I's in the middle. We got 24 hours of programming, 7 days a week. Mick and Rick is just a component of what we do. But we continue to grow. And we try to bring you some things that you didn't know. Rick, how's it going down there in wherever are you now? Tampa, St. Pete, St. Augustine, Polk County?
some daggone where, man. Somewhere around there, Central Florida. Just say Central Florida. That's all right. It's all right. But you know, Coach, actually, I'm sad. It's been a tough day. It's been a tough week, actually, ever since Monday night. And all I can say is, go Niners. Go San Francisco. Let's go Niners. That's all I have to say.
Oh, well, it's been a really interesting week in HBCU sports. We're going to get to some of that. You know, the new football coach, Ed Reed, and some of his comments and things that happened from there. We have some interesting feedback we're going to share.
Okay.
You know, that's what we do. We try to provide a platform. But it's been a really interesting day. I have just been put in touch with a FAMU journalism student that has a very interesting documentary on the mental health of student athletes.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we're trying to arrange to have her on and have her documentary on so that everybody can see it, see what's going on with it, talk to her, get some information on what prompted her to. I know why she did it, but I want her to tell the audience why she did it. And one of the things that we try to do on Insights Roku channel is provide a platform for creative content creators and allow them to be able to show their wares and live their dreams doing some of this. That's what we do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But we have our special guest from Florida A&M University volleyball program, We got the head spike man, the head setter, the head dig. We got the man himself from volleyball, from Florida A&M University, from the tallest hills, Coach Yilmaz. Man, one thing I know about him already, he's on time. Before I even came on, he was already ready. So I know that his volleyball team is where they need to be on time. Welcome, Coach. We appreciate you being a part of INSiiGHTS.
Welcome, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I mean, I knew there would be something wrong with computers. I'm not very high tech, so I'm glad I signed in early, and it turned out to be a good thing.
Coach, before we go any further, I have to say your background looks like that tree is growing out your head.
Yes, the tree is staying there.
The tree of life.
I'm losing my hair, so you don't want to see the back of my head. So this makes me look like I'm younger. And I appreciate you all putting a good picture of me.
You like that picture, Coach?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Thank you. We try to sift through the library to find us one that we think will fit the profile. So we're glad that you enjoyed that picture that we put on.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach, I need you to tell people a little bit about your volleyball team. And we know that you've won the SWAC 2 years in a row. But Coach, tell us about when you first came in. Tell us how you got it cranked up and returned it back to legendary status.
Yeah, thank you. I started back in 2018, and Dr. Eason was the athletic director back in time. He gave me an opportunity and hired me. I knew about FAMU before I was hired. I coached at Florida State long time, and then I ended up starting a volleyball club here in town. So I was here already. And the previous coach before me is a good friend. He's a Hall of Famer, Tony Trifano. Did exceptional things here at FAMU and MEAC. Was nationally ranked, has 13 conference championships. So I started helping him a little bit being in town. And then one day decided to make a change. Marvin Green was one of the administrators. So he watched for me. He was one of the ones that thought I would do a good job. Same thing with Juan Wilson. And they gave me the opportunity. So I remember Dr. Eason calling me from the HR and telling me, hey, asking me if I would want to be the head volleyball coach here at FAMU. And it was a great day for me back then. But around that time, honestly, after 2009, program dropped a little bit. And that's for various reasons. It might be due to recruiting, funding, scholarship opportunities, whatever they were. The last championship came back in 2009. And the program also relied on recruiting a lot of kids outside of the United States and kids that traditionally didn't attend HBCUs per se. So one of the major things I wanted to implement, and knowing FAMU and the academics and the athletic excellence, starting with football and then going with volleyball as well, that I knew we could highlight some of the academic programs and start building some relationships with the clubs in the Southeast first, and then also be able to recruit nationally. So in 2018, when we accepted the position, I brought in an assistant coach who is still with us, Coach Canfield, doing an exceptional job for us. He's former Air Force, helping us a lot with every aspect of our program. But with the coaching change, there were a lot of kids that didn't want to stick around, wanted to go different places. So we lost a bunch of kids. Our first team had, honestly, 8 players when we started preseason practice in August. And we did tryouts on campus and was just looking for kids that looked like volleyball players on campus and just telling them, hey, did you play volleyball? Would you like to join? Trying to get to the magic number 12, to have 12 players on the team. Still had a pretty decent season, but also started building those recruiting relationships. And 2019 was kind of sad for us that we were hit with the postseason ban along with football and basketball. And it was due to the issues that came from 10 years ago exactly. So it was issues that happened in 2009. and NCAA caught up with the department, so they put a postseason ban for us. So talking to Coach McCullum and Coach Simmons, and I give both of them credit. They're great confidants. We have a great coaching group here in the department. Coach Shoup, Coach Rice in golf, all of them, we talk quite often. I was the one that decided to redshirt our starting lineup in 2019 because we had a postseason ban. So we recruited 19 kids. We redshirted our projected lineup, and we played with pretty much our second group on the entire season. Still won 12 matches. I think we went 12 and 17. Still a big success. And, even with Power 5 programs, it's very difficult to have that many quality kids on teams. So the level of play really drops after your 8th, 9th, and 10th player. But everybody on that team did a great job, gave us a lift, and we were able to gain valuable experience for everybody. And the 2020 came in, COVID hit, and we had long conversations with the AD then, Courtney Gaucher, and I made it very clear to him that I wanted to play. My team would be very good in 2020 because I was preparing for that season. But the decision was made that volleyball would not compete for that year. So we ended up not playing that year as well. So imagine having this really good group of kids, 10, 12 of them, that you're trying to motivate them for 2 full years and you haven't even played yet. So we went through some of those issues, but I think we did a very good job with recruiting kids that were not only here for volleyball, but that are also here for academics and that also felt a deep connection with FAMU brand, and everything that FAMU had to offer. So we didn't have anybody transferring out. And I was telling this to a recruit last week that in our 5 years here, we had 0 transfer outs, that we had multiple kids that are transferring in. So that was a plus, and the culture we were able to build. And I give a lot of credit to the group that's graduating this year that helped us keep everybody motivated. And finally, when we played in 2021, we had a fantastic preseason before conference started. We beat Auburn at Auburn. That's a big win for our program. We went 8-4 out of conference. And usually SWAC and MEAC teams start their preseason with very low winning percentages. And we were an exception to that. And we finished the season with 25-7 and winning the first championship for not only for the university, but for our volleyball program as well. And this year, we were able to add more pieces to that puzzle. And we didn't start all that well this year, this 2022. We had similar issues what football had with certification. We had 3 kids out in the first couple of weekends. One of them was out for 7 matches. So we lost the first 7 matches, but then came back again, ended up with, I believe, 20 wins. Won the conference actually more convincingly this year than we did in 2021. In the conference tournament, we swept everybody. We didn't lose a set. And I think that speaks volumes to our leadership, to our ability to recruit, to our ability to retain, and to the caliber of players and the caliber of motivated individuals that we have brought to the program. And right now, I am from overseas, so there's nothing wrong with recruiting international people. I'm always proud to say I finally became an American citizen 4 years ago. It was a great journey for me. So I'm not against recruiting from other places. I think HBCUs really afford a melting pot for people from all around. But we were able to form our team in a way where we are the representative of the student population, and we're very proud of that as well.
Wow, Coach. Talk about an excellent commentary. And one of the things that I have to say is how honest you are with what you were saying. Having been on the staff and in the athletic department during some of the earlier volleyball times, we're aware of the past success of previous regimes and some of the things about the high number of foreign students and all of that. So also worked in compliance. So I'm aware of a lot of issues that were going on. But the other thing that I really have to commend you on is the way that you have given credit to so many people for your success. That coach, that I tip my hat if I had one, but I just bow my head, my bald head. But I really do appreciate what you've said. And you have really done some things that took a little cojones to do, to redshirt your team and the recruits, and then not to lose one kid to transfer during a time when, you know, you not only have to recruit incoming players, you got to recruit your own team to make sure everything is still peaceful at home. Coach, congratulations to what you've done and the success you've had. One of the things we wanted to do on this show was to give some exposure to you and your program. You know, Coach, I think I saw a picture where you had a number of your students just graduate.
Yes. We have one that graduated. Athletic department does a good job with recognizing everybody that's graduating every semester. So our All-American in last 2 years, Dominique Washington, is the one that graduated in mid-semester. She had her master's degree. She got an MBA. So she's getting to the real world right now. But what a success story she is too. She was at Georgia Tech, highly touted high school kid when she played club and high school volleyball. Started for Georgia Tech early in her career, then couldn't find herself in the last couple of years, but came here and became the player of the year twice in SWAC, All-American both years, and what a great leader. So she's really one of the ones that helped us to build, and hopefully we'll be able to put more bricks on what she started and continue building.
Well, Coach, tell me about the type of crowd you get in the Lawson Center.
Yeah, that's a little interesting. I think we got better crowds in 2021 than in 2022. And there has been some talk about playing volleyball in Gaither. I'm not sure if you all have seen the new floor they did in Gaither, and that was with the previous administration. I think Student Government Association provided some of the funds to make Gaither floor look like a volleyball floor. And it is, if you look at L. Lawson, just bring the outside lines to the volleyball court and just subdue the basketball lines. Looks perfect. But there are some missing pieces. Bleachers are not functional. The basketball goals need to be moved up for us to play. They were not functional early in the year. The locker rooms need some work. There's no scoreboard, and I know it's in the works with the new administration coming in. I think Tiffany will do a very good job with being able to address that. But what it did is it provided us a great opportunity to practice there as well, instead of only relying on L. Lawson, which a lot of the events take place there. But we contemplated the idea of playing in Gaither, being only 3,000 seats. If you bring 1,000 people there, it's a really good home advantage. And we will keep exploring that. But we made it very clear to all the administrations that we wanted to be at a place where you can host a quality Division I match. Then we would move there as our home court. But that's something we've been considering in the last 3 years. I think Calvin Rozier was one of the ones that started that project. He's a good friend. He's done great things as a facilities person here. And then Courtney and his staff added to that. And I'm hoping Tiffany will take this and run with it and make it a great atmosphere for us and make that our home court.
And it's ironic that you say that when we first opened up the Lawson Center, I was still as an assistant athletic director then, and over the Boosters, we made the suggestion then to create a home court advantage for the volleyball team in Gaither. And we just thought that actually FSU did it in Tully, and that you would be able to have a home court advantage with the crowd size that you have, and anything that you could do to intimidate somebody plays to your advantage, you know. But at the time it kind of fell on deaf ears, but I'm glad to hear that it is at least under consideration now with some additional work that has to be done to make it a first-class facility for you to be able to do that. Rick, anything you'd like to ask?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It can mimic what Tully has done, and I think it has more character than Tully does. And it's a perfect practice situation for us. If the bleachers are functional, we can use 2 courts. I agree with the fact that having people closer to the court and being able to bring some students there and have them engaged and create that atmosphere. And it's the right time to do it for us because now we're winning. And when you win, people like winners. People like to go behind things that are successful. So we're going to continue pushing for that. I think it's great to show the recruits how nice Al Lawson looks. I mean, it's a great facility. It's great to show all those things. But even basketball games, we see it. It just looks empty. And that sometimes drain the energy out of you than giving you something. So we agree. We agree that that can be a great opportunity, and it's one of the scheduled talks we'll have with the new administration. See how we can move to that direction.
In addition to which, it allows you freedom of usage, so that you can your students can schedule classes, and you can pretty much move your practice time to whatever is convenient to you without having to share the space with class going on with the men and women's basketball team and other activities. You'll find that everybody else will want to come over there when they get pushed out of the Lawson Center because they haven't been on campus. I know we've been in there and all of a sudden we're practicing and they start rolling in things, setting up for homecoming, and you out of the practice for a week. So you having your own facility alleviates all those things for you. You could put the banners up, pictures of your former championship teams, players, and give it that special touch that only the volleyball team can do.
Yeah, I agree with that. And right now, actually, women's basketball is utilizing Gaither as much as we do as well. They like the practice atmosphere it creates. So we're not necessarily asking for it volleyball only. We're more than happy to share it with all the other sports. But you're spot on. It creates another venue for men's basketball to come over. If it's raining outside, softball to come in and do something inside. It really opens up a lot of opportunities. I think one thing people don't realize with Al Lawson is a teaching facility. So there are classes there during the day that you cannot utilize the building. And then, from convocation to different things, they all take place there. So it's really a great facility to have on campus, but it's always good to have options and to utilize more spaces to your advantage because you can only practice a certain amount of times.
Exactly. Well, tell me, as you move on to this upcoming season, Coach, how do you foresee your upcoming season? Now you've gone from being the hunter to the hunted. Everybody wants to be FAMU.
Yeah, we actually talked about that a lot last year, where we were picked number 6, I think, in 2021 in the preseason poll. So people didn't know we would be good. And again, one of the reasons is we didn't play in COVID. In 2019, we redshirted our main group. So people didn't see some of our top players play in the last 2 years. And that kind of was a motivation for us in that year. And then we started the season very well and kept improving from there. But last year, one of the things we did is exactly what you said. Once you win, everybody tries to catch up with you. So they want to up their game. So you have to stay ahead of the curve. You have to be creative with practices that you're running. Your strength and conditioning needs to get better, which our strength coach did a great job with it. He's not with us anymore. We hired somebody new. I think he's going to do a very, very good job with us also. So we talked about that quite a bit. I think part of it is renewing yourself and setting up new goals. So it can be creating new All-Americans, having players who won 3 times. That hasn't been done for a long time. Also being able to win a round in the NCAA tournament. I think that's one of the things that we have to start pushing. That comes with a lot of layers. That comes with better funding, with better staffing, better resources all the way across. But it has to start somewhere, and it has to start in the minds first. Then you can start discussing how you get to that stage. And that's one of the things I keep talking to all the recruits, and that's how we get some of the better ones. We get kids from Georgia Tech, North Carolina State, from TCU. We added one great player from a SoCon conference who hasn't signed yet. She's going to sign in the next week, so I'm not allowed to say her name yet. So she's going to be a great addition to our program. And finally, with all the relationships we started building back in 2018, we have 4 high school students joining us in this signing class. And we're expecting them to be impact players as well. And these are kids that had offers from several other Division I schools, chose to come to us. So our goal is to renew the goals that we had and add simple stuff to that in increments, maybe increasing the squats or the jumps or the hitting efficiency, and also talking about, again, can we have newcomer of the year again, and who those target players would be, or the player of the year, or the setter of the year. And that keeps everybody motivated to practice in the spring, and also kind of helps us to remotivate and regroup everyone for the fall.
Okay, Coach, how would a parent, volleyball player, coach, how would they contact you to let you know about them? How would they reach you, and what type of information do you want from them?
Well, there are several platforms. We would like it to start with a simple email if they can, and we like it to come from the player if possible. And the earlier they do it is better. We cannot contact players until the July 1st, I believe, of their junior year. So they have to be in their junior year for us to be able to communicate with them. But they can communicate with us. And our email is visible on the website. Send us information. And there are some platforms that most of the clubs and high schools use. And they can send us information through those as well. And we make sure we watch every video we get and get back with kids in 3 days the most. So we have the 72-hour rule as a staff that we write something. If that's the kid, we can respond and be able to go out and watch them. And that's the next step. We go to big tournaments around the state, around the Southeast, and around the country, and watch them compete against other high quality players.
Coach, tell them what that email address is.
Well, my name is very difficult, so I'm going to try to spell that. It's my first name dot my last name, so it's GOKHAN.YILMAZ@FAMU.edu.
And there you have it, straight from the Coach of the Year. He's able to give you some information for you to reach out to him, and he tells you they're going to get back to you within 72 hours. Coach, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Coach, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Let us know how it goes. We have you back on once you get into right before you get into the season, so we can let people know what you have coming up on the schedule, so that they will know to come see you, come out and support you, see your program. You know, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our probably the most successful athletic program we have at the university at this time. And everybody should know that. Coach, anything you'd like to say in closing or parting?
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I want all the Rattler Nation to know that we have a group of young ladies that are working hard every day to make our university and program proud, and would love to see more support from everyone. It can be just showing up to the games or recognizing us when they see us around town or around the country. And I think Rick is still a little surprised I knew where Wesley Chapel is. But yeah, I've been there watching volleyball tournaments, so maybe we'll see each other one day.
Yes, indeed. When you come, please, I would love to see you. I'll right around the corner from the facility, so I would love to see you.
Absolutely. We'll connect.
Volleyball.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate both of you.
Thank you, Coach. You're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the show and participate. But if you have something else to do, we understand that. And when we come out this commercial, if you're still with us, you're more than welcome to be with us. We appreciate you very,
Thanks,
very,
Coach.
very much.
Thanks so much.
Great piece there.
He's a good guy and smart. I would not have thought about red shirting. Wow, wow. You could tell. I mean, that's why they're successful. He's thinking ahead. That makes a good coach.
Yes, sir. And they've won it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
That's extremely significant. That is not easy to do. SWAC champions 2 years in a row.
And wins against Power 5 teams. I don't think that's. I think he really downplayed that, but that's big as well. And I'm sure that helps them get recruits. I was looking at their schedule, their early season schedule, and they play some monsters, and they're right there with them. That's all right. Congratulations.
That's how you put yourself in a better position to win a game in the tournament, is by seeding. You know, you want to beat a couple people so that they don't seed you last and play the number one seed. You know, every time one of our institutions does well in any sport, it comes at the direct result of them not being the last seeded team in. You know, 14-15 in basketball gives you a chance to you not playing and competing against the number one team in the nation, which they beat the rest of them in the SEC and the ACC too. So, you know, exactly that. Let's talk a little bit about the people across the state from you. And Ed
Right
Reed.
now, 4.
And Ed Reed, what is your opinion or thought on all of that went on?
Coach, tell the people, tell the people what happened.
I'm gonna let you tell them.
So, if I caught it straight, Ed Reed was caught on his golf cart. I guess he was doing some cleaning up, and he was responding to some people on social media. Mistake number one. And just went off saying, people. I guess people were saying that. Well, I don't know what they were telling him, but he was saying, well, I'm not even under contract, and I'm out here picking up trash, and I'm doing this, and then he had a snip about all HBCUs, how they need help, and they're trying to help, and it was convoluted at best, but a lot of people got on him for doing that, and he came back with another rant and doubled down on it before today, or just recently, yesterday or so, apologizing, saying he understands how things go slow and how Cookman is, and he didn't mean any of all that. But if you said it, it was in your heart. Yeah.
And how he said it.
Oh yeah. It was like
profanity laced.
It was yes.
For church school.
Yes.
It was a little over the top.
Yes. To say the least.
Man, did we get a lot of feedback on that, and people saying, are you going to talk about it on the show? I said, well, we may or may not. How you going to be a sports show and not talk about it? You know, and we tend to stay on the positive side, but his exact words were, to my BCU family and supporters of Hale Wildcats, in regard No, it doesn't say N. It says, "I regards to my social media and comments about the university staff and other institutions. I would like to sincerely apologize to all BCU staff, students, and alumni for my lack of professionalism. My language and tone were unacceptable as a father, coach, and leader. My passion for our culture, betterment, and bringing our foundation up got the best of me. I fell victim while engaging with antagonists, there you go, on social media as well. I'm fully aware of the hardworking folks at our school who are also fighting to make things better and more financially sound. I am encouraged from my communication with my AD and our administration, and I understand it's a work in progress. My passion is about getting and doing better, and that goes for me too."
Yeah. 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 Why isn't he signed though? Why? I mean, this was announced back in
Well,
December or so.
probably because of the number of people that it takes to get approval for contracts. That is, I've been asked that a number of times too. And to be honest, they're not the only HBCU that doesn't have contracts ready. But if you listen, the AD at Colorado told everybody that he didn't have the money for Deion's contract. But he said that was the least of his concerns. And right after that, one single booster gave him $1 million towards it. So
Uh,
that, that's kind of that doesn't surprise me or concern me much. They generally take care of that. You got the impression that when he read it, I mean, he said what he said, that he hadn't seen the school or the campus. But I understand that a lot of the players are now currently cleaning up the campus, and much like their area in the practice field, much like a lot of the coaches at other institutions have done. And in fact, they showed one with Deion Sanders vacuuming out his office. We've gotten a lot of things, and I appreciate y'all for sending us things that you think may be of interest. And we appreciate with some of them we do show. But a lot of times they don't have contracts ready. So that's not a surprise. Is that right? Does that make it right or wrong? No, but that's just the reality of the situation.
Could it be more of a, and them being a private school, does that play in a role in that as well? As you said, as many layers?
It could, but I mean, some others that aren't private schools have those same issues. It just requires a lot of approval. And most of the coaches are trying to get in, and you're trying to get them in. We've had people go 6-7 months without contracts. So that is not, it's just, there's so many layers. The layers are on how this is revealed. HBCU graduates who work at HBCUs rarely talk about this because they understand what they're dealing with. Hirees from different institutions that come from a PWI expects that HBCUs are run like PWIs, and they're not. I can't tell you how many uniforms and practice equipment we've washed, or having to put together a locker room, or having a fundraiser just to put benches in the locker room. I mean, we just don't talk about it. We just go about doing what we need to do. That's why when people are critical, it kind of cuts deep when they don't know the things that you went to. I remember somebody said, "Well, Coach Clayton left, he took his phone." I had to buy the phone. It was my phone.
It was my phone.
I literally had to buy the phone and have an answer machine put on it to get messages. So that he took his phone. It was my phone. It cuts a lot deeper than what people really realize.
So this was a reality check for Ed Reed, number one.
Yeah.
Do you think it affects them in any kind of way? I don't think it does.
Who are you talking about?
The program.
Who are you talking about with the program? The supporters or the team?
Well, I was really thinking, would the administration say, "No, man, you can't do that," and get rid of him?
It didn't endear him. I'm sure it didn't endear him. the team probably respected it, because they, coach stood up for us. Coach stood up for us. They probably like that, but it didn't do well. It didn't sit well with the supporters of Bethune-Cookman. No, it really didn't. And to be honest, we keep touching on Deion Sanders and the fact that, how he has done it at Colorado and what he did when he got hired at Jackson State. I really didn't think he would have. I was hopeful, but I didn't think he would have the success that he had. I was hopeful that he would. There had been NFL and NBA stars hired at other prestigious HBCUs that didn't have the level of success that Deion did. But Deion caught lightning in a bottle, and he did what they had hoped he would do. I mean, he turned the program around, brought money to the program, and we've had programs and players that have raised money at different HBCUs for their sport, only to find out the money they raised went to other sports rather than the sport they raised it from. So it's always some things that go on, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Deion did that.
Oh yeah,
$100,000, $5 million. But come on, come on now. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it.
No brainer.
Yeah, he did exactly what he said he was going to do. And just to show you something here.
Especially should be here, right? We should have defense on this side, correct? We should have offense on this side. And all the coaches and everyone else on that external. Jamie, start us off with prayer. Lord, we thank you for this day, Father. We thank you for this opportunity as a group. Father, we thank you for the movement that God has put us in place to be in charge of. We thank you for each player here, each coach, each family. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Allow us to assemble a group.
When I say stand tall, okay, I want you bouncing out of your seat and stand tall. When I say stand tall, get your ass up. Stand tall. Get your ass back down. Stand tall. We coming. We coming. Raise the goddamn roof. Raise the roof. We coming. We coming. We coming. We coming. Them Colorado buses show up, and 60 minutes of hell coming with it. 60 minutes of hell coming with it. The time is now, man. The time is now. Sit down.
Stand tall, Rick. Sit your ass down.
I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited to have the opportunity to work for Coach Brown.
First coaches meet.
And I can tell you right now, I came here because of one thing, his standard. And we will win now. That's what we're here to do. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, this will be my 33rd year coaching. I just finished up 4 years at the University of Alabama. Prior to that, I was at the University of Tennessee, and I spent 5 years as defensive coordinator at Florida State. But I'm used to winning, but I'm used to being around people that have high standards. That's why I'm working here. I'm excited to work with everybody on this team. I'm excited to be a part of this program, and I'm excited to see the work that you put into it. Just remember this, okay? Success only comes before work in a dictionary. It's time to go to work.
I'm Trevor Riley. I'll be in charge of special teams. I was with Coach Prime at Jackson State, and I was at the University of Utah before that. In addition to the mantra that we have, there's 3 things I expect as we move forward. I get to know y'all. Number 1, have a great attitude. Special teams is encompassing the whole team, whether it's PNC, field goal, or kickoff. Number 2, have great body language. I think that's something we all can control. And number 3, great effort. You do those 3 things, in addition to Coach Prime said, we're going to have a great relationship.
Coach Lewis, do me a favor. Hey, give me 2 claps and a red flag. Whoa! Light this thing up a little bit. Hey, coming here from Kent State was Aaron's the head coach for the past 5 years. Humbled to be here. Humbled to serve y'all. All right, I'm the father of 2 young children. Husband to my beautiful wife. They're going to get out here January 29th, get to meet y'all. All right, it's a tremendous opportunity to change the environment, to flip this thing on its head. You're going to learn about me. I like to go fast. So think fast, go fast, do fast. We're about to temple that ass and have some fun. Let's go, boys.
Coach Brown, offensive line coach, it is an honor to be here. Can't wait to get started.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. I got to come with Coach Lou. I need some energy. I say I can. You say I will. I can. I will. I can. I will. Tomorrow you can show what you can do and what you will do. We will win because what you will do. Y'all follow me?
Please.
So y'all got to bring that energy. On the field,
didn't he play in the NFL?
Classroom, on the field, weight room, you got to make sure you're the best you. All right, so your mind, your vision, your voice, your story. Make sure you guys start writing that tomorrow. Be the best you. Be the best you. Bring everything that you can. So start tomorrow. Start to write. Start to draw. All right, start to build, but live the best you that you can be. I can. I will. Let's go.
Been with this man for over 18 years. One thing we will do is win and win now. Be focused, strap on your seatbelts, and be ready to roll.
DB coach. I played 10 years in the NFL. Also, I've been with Coach Brown since 1997. One thing about me, man, I'm a grinder. All right? I'm a grind until I shine. All right? And I expect the same thing out of you guys. All right? Another thing you need to know about me, I'm a straightforward guy. You always gonna know how I stand, where I stand, and everything that I do. All right? My door's open to everybody. I don't just coach corner, I coach everybody. So welcome to come on in. If you want the truth about what's going on, come to my office. All right? We'll give you the truth. All right? Let's go, Bucks.
Williams, a little bit about myself. I started at the University of Georgia for 5 seasons, transitioned to Texas A&M for 2 seasons. Coach Brown gave me a call, and now I'm here. I'm extremely grateful and thankful to be here. I believe in doing the next right thing. All right, I'm gonna give you all I got, and I expect the same in return. All right, I'm a high energy guy. I love what I do. I'm passionate about it, and I think you guys will see that. All right, love.
I am defensive line coach, defense tackle coach. Came in from Louisiana State University, LSU, living in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm pumped to be here. Everything gonna start from defensive line. We're gonna set the
those guys paying close attention, aren't they?
Physical, fast, and have a bunch of fun. Love you guys. Thank you to be here.
They better be.
My name is Brett Bartoloni. I'm the wide receivers coach here.
Because someone's watching them.
I'm here at the University of Colorado because I want to be part of the best staff in the country and I want to coach the best players in the country. Okay, we got the best staff in the country, and there ain't no doubt about that. Okay, it's our job as coaches, okay, to hold each and every one of you in these seats accountable to that standard, okay, of being elite and being the best in the country every single day, okay, and that's what we're going to do. I'm upstairs, offense, defense, special teams. I don't care who you are. I'm always open to talk. I know you guys are going through a lot. If you guys ever need someone to talk to, come chop it up with me upstairs. Thanks, guys.
Musician staff, Coach Tessa Uha, Brandon Reyes, Redrick Taylor, Stephen Houston. All right, so we have a great staff. It doesn't matter about our staff if you guys are not following along and following suit on what we ask you guys to do.
What's your thought, Coach?
Typical meeting. I mean, I thought you was gonna show the clip where he said, half of y'all is not gonna be here.
That's old now. What somebody sent me was actually the clip that he had the first meeting with the staff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had everybody from custodial work to academic advisors to admissions to stadium. I mean, and he had them introduce themselves and tell them what they do. And the cafeteria staff, everybody said that he just talked to them about attitudes and what they need to do. And if he didn't understand what somebody did, he said, I don't know what that, he said, I don't understand what you do. And then he said they would answer it. And then he said, well, that means when the football season over, you ain't got nothing to do. What do? You ain't got no job after the football season over. What you do for the other 8 months? I mean, he met with everybody.
Okay.
I've been around for a while. We've seen different football coaches come in. I don't remember that meeting like that with the football coach. I don't remember sometime with the ADs. They would have the coaches, but the whole staff. The only thing close to that at all was when we would have football game day operations.
Mm-hmm.
And certain ADs didn't do that, but some did, and they had them weekly. This is January. Oh, they would have already had football game day operation for football season coming up in September. They would have the TPD, they'd have the sheriff department, they'd have admissions, they'd have everybody on campus would be in the meeting. Every unit was there.
Mm-hmm.
And they would start working on it. And then see what they're doing for basketball, they would have already had that in place as a continuation from football game day operation.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody did it. Some ADs didn't have them until a week or two before the season, and thus the chaos that you would have first home game sometimes.
Let me ask you this. How much of this is show? I know he has a show on Amazon Prime called Coach Prime. So how much is this?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you because some of what he's doing, I mean, he puts everything out there. And for him to have that first meeting with the football team and tell them, you know, that they need to get in the transfer portal because he was going to bring some people with him. It's the conversation that some coaches have, but it's not public, it's not released like it was. He said the same thing publicly that some coaches say privately.
Right.
So he's pretty transparent with it. You know, now is he promoting it? Yeah, absolutely he is.
I mean, I actually like it. I do. But I wonder. I mean, and that's my reporter side. Just okay. How much is this just show, or are you really just genuine? Yeah, interesting.
I don't know about genuine or genuine, but I think it shows his connection to understanding social media.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the old school coaches don't.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the younger coaches are trying to do what they are doing in terms of the following, letting people know, and students live by social media. You got a whole generation of students who don't know anything other than that. You know, if you take away their cell phone or their ability to be on Instagram or different social media posts, they wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Facts.
When we used to travel, we required all cell phones to be turned in at a certain time. And the reason we did was we found out they were up half the night on the cell phones and then tired and sleeping. And the last thing we always told them, said, if you put that cell phone in that box and it's not turned off and that cell phone go off and wake me up, I'm coming to the room whose cell phone that is, and everybody in that room get ready to run. Oh, we never had that issue. We never had that issue. No, we never had that issue. But that kids today, that's how they grow up and that's how they communicate. And so he's appealing to them in a way that most coaches can't. And if you want to know what it's like, you pretty much seeing what it's like. You know, you pretty much seeing what it's like. And you don't see the only time you ever really heard about kids transferring from Jackson State was when he was bringing his kids in. And all the quarterbacks left because they say they act like he favoring his son, like his son going to be the starting quarterback. His son was the best quarterback on campus, and he wasn't even on campus yet. So, yeah, you leaving was probably a good move.
Smart.
I mean, you transfer and you're not winning. So, yeah, he changed it. I mean, he did the same thing that he did at Colorado. He did that at Jackson State.
Oh, boy.
Now, the interesting thing is going to be what happens with Bethune. You know, Coach Reed has some people that are going to send him players. I mean, he has some transfers that he's getting ready to get. He has some in place already. You know, he has some in place already that have enrolled in January. So Cookman is going to be better. They're going to be better. You can't underestimate them. Once, you know, they had been winning before, but Alvin Wyatt had them rolling one time before. You know, Alvin Wyatt was the Deion Sanders prime time before prime time.
Yeah. Before social media, yes, he was.
Yes, he
Oh
was.
my goodness. Oh yes.
He
Yeah.
was that.
Whoo. Or both the basketball and football field.
Yeah, coaching the women's basketball team too. Now he was a special. Oh, those two guys right there, boy, they know how to enjoy their laugh. They laugh so hard it hurt them.
Oh. Watching them hurt.
While some legends know early on they are destined for greatness in a particular sport, for others, it may take time for the love of the sport to take over. On this episode of Remembering the Legends, we take a stroll down memory lane to remember one of the all-time greats, who almost wasn't. Today, we shine the spotlight on former Grambling and Kansas City Chief defensive lineman Buck Buchanan. Junius Buck Buchanan was born September 10th, 1940 in Gainesville, Alabama. At 6'7", basketball was Buchanan's first love, although he also played football at Birmingham Parker High. But Buchanan didn't get any scholarship offers for basketball after high school and figured he would not go to college. His uncle, however, who was a principal, called Grambling football coach Eddie Robinson to tell him about his nephew. Robinson signed Buchanan, and the rest is history. While at Grambling, Buchanan was a 3-time Black College All-American and also was named an NAIA All-American. That success and potential led the Dallas Texans of the American Football League, right before they moved to Kansas City, to make Buchanan the #1 overall pick in the 1963 AFL Draft. The Texans' choice made Buchanan the first player from an HBCU to be drafted #1 overall by a major sports professional franchise. Buchanan nearly became a member of the NFL's Green Bay Packers, who drafted him in the 17th round of the 1962 draft as a future pick. But the league nullified the pick for reasons unknown. That again worked out best for Buchanan, whose size, agility, speed, and quickness made him the prototypical defensive lineman. For an 8-year stretch, Buchanan went to either the AFL or the AFL-NFL All-Star Games. He was named Chiefs MVP in 1965 and again in 1967, and was a unanimous All-AFL selection from 1966 through 1969. Buchanan helped the Chiefs win 2 AFL titles and make 2 Super Bowl appearances, including a victory in Super Bowl IV against the Minnesota Vikings. In the inaugural Super Bowl against Green Bay, Buchanan had the first sack in Super Bowl history, taking down the legendary Bart Starr. Buchanan retired in 1975 and became a successful businessman. He started 2 businesses in Kansas City, as well as founding the Black Chamber of Commerce, where he served as president from 1986 through 1989. Buck Buchanan died of cancer at the age of 51 in 1992, but his legacy lives on. Since 1995, the top FCS defensive player is known as the Buck Buchanan Award. In 2021, FAMU's Isaiah Land was honored with the award. Buchanan was the first black player from the state of Alabama to be recognized as a professional all-star, according to AL.com, and is ranked 4th on the site's list of greatest 100 players with Alabama roots. He was named to the NFL All-Century team, was the third player named to the Chiefs Hall of Honor, inducted into the inaugural class of the Black College Football Hall of Fame, and in 1990 was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And to think all of this nearly never happened. But God has plans to make all of us great, and he had plans to make Buchanan great, and the lineman more than delivered. That is what makes him a legend.
Let's go 49ers.
Tell us about you picking Buck. Wow.
No. I was looking up some stats on Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes, and something just said do something on look for greatest Chiefs of all time. I had never heard of Buck Buchanan. I had never seen him play, and so his name kept popping up in all of my searches, and I was like, huh? So I read up on him, and I was like, oh my goodness, he was all that. This guy was all that. And if I didn't know anything about him, I figured somebody else didn't know anything about him either. So that's why I did it.
Good job. Good job. I think we had a good show today. Volleyball coach was informative. He's an easy interview. He sells his program. He sure has me where I sure want to go see those young ladies play.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, indeed.
So if we can get people to be aware of it, that's better and better.
You have to
like us on Facebook.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
I'm sorry. What was that you were getting ready to say?
I said you got to sell your program, coach. That's all. You got to sell it. Got to sell it.
Yeah.
And he does a good job.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He makes you want to be a part and go see him. You know, they're a winning program too. Graduating the kids, all of that. That's
and and transfers are coming to FAM. And they're getting high school students. Yeah. It's a great blend. Great blend. Good job, coach.
I agree.
Your attention, please. Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, Florida Corporation. This broadcast is produced under exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises. It is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.
We appreciate y'all, everybody's support. We'll see you next week.
Yo.